Hello, fire signs. Happy Sunday. Welcome to your daily focus tarot. So you have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands talks about being almost to the end of a cycle, persevering, using your creativity to keep going. You're looking to transform with death here, to transform and grow and get out of the cycle of the past where you were feeling like you had to sort of walk on tiptoes and try and balance, and you couldn't really focus or build your stability the way that you wanted to. You were in stormy emotional waters, and it affected your thinking, it affected your soul deeply, it affected kind of everything that was going on around you, and really threw you off balance, made you feel like you had to walk on eggshells. You're looking at transforming that and getting away from it, building your stability and moving forwards, having this growth to where you don't feel like you have to keep things under wraps. You don't feel like you have to keep yourself locked up in order to just survive, or locked down in order to just survive. We have the devil energy. The devil energy talks about the shadow self, the shadow side of the mind, or the unconscious of the mind, exploring those dark thoughts, the things that you repress, the things that you hate about yourself or your life, the things that are just very negative to you. So it can also talk about materialism, addiction, obsession, compulsion, in regards to those shadow stuff, the stuff that you repress. And it leaves you feeling like these problems that you're bound to, this negative energy in the shadow self, they make you feel like you can't change. But that's just an illusion. You can wake up from it and leave it behind. This Ten of Wands, it's talking about having a lot of burdens, sometimes feeling like you have to do it all and feeling like you're really oppressed by that, and like you don't know which way to go or what to do. You don't know how to delegate it to somebody. What was it I wanted to say? And you're getting burnt out. It talks about that overwork and getting burnt out. And then you've got the King of Wands in reverse. And this talks about, somebody who they're impatient for this transformation, for these burdens to be dropped, for these things that are binding you, for this work to be done. They can be a little bit impatient or even ruthless in regards to transforming these things and getting out of this. It can also talk about, if it's not talking about a person, it can talk about your expectations need to be brought down to earth. Okay? We've also got the Moon and the Five of Cups. The Moon is talking about getting that clarity, possibly talking about caution in certain circumstances, finding that middle ground instead of going one way or the other to extremes. Like the devil would have you go to extremes, and so would Ten of Wands. That's why it's a burden, and it's causing that burnout. Really getting clarity on what those uncertain circumstances could be and where that middle ground is, looking for that more stable future that you can transform. Five of Cups. I mean, the moon also talks about the shadow self, the unconscious, the repressed things. And in that regard, it can talk about like a hidden situation, whether it's an opportunity or it's something hidden that's for the negative, even hidden enemies. The Five of Cups, it talks about not wallowing. It's the card of crying over spilled milk, sort of wallowing in the past and in your failures and the things that hurt you and didn't work out for you, while ignoring the things that you still have, the things that are still working out for you, and the things that you have in potential. This castle signifies not only security in a home, but it also signifies whatever your dreams may be. And this person can still walk, you can't see it in the picture, but they could walk over the bridge and then walk to this castle. They could walk to their dreams, to their security, to their home, whatever the castle means for them, whatever the dream is. They've still got 2 cups. They've still got 2 good relationships, 2 good emotional circumstances, circumstances in regards to creative jobs, whatever that may be. Even though these 3 cups didn't work out, these 3 relationships or these 3 circumstances, jobs, they didn't work out, but they've still got 2. So you really want to look at getting clarity. If this is something hidden from you, that's one thing, and that could be causing you to, like I said, if it's a person with this King of Wands in reverse who's kind of ruthless and impatient and intolerant, you'll get clarity on this. If it's not, if it's just sort of like feeling like you got impossible expectations, or they have impossible expectations, you're going to get clarity on how to drop these burdens, how to move past this. The stuff that you feel bound with the devil, that's an illusion. The devil is an illusion. You see these people here, they're kind of like sleeping, or they're not, their hand is in their head and they're crying. And the devil, he's, just there kind of like, oh, look at me, I'm, big and bad and whatnot. And he's puffed himself up. But you can see the sun behind him. You can see it shining. I don't know if you can see the gold foil through the camera, but you can see the sun shining behind him. You can see the creativity and the growth. And he doesn't take up the whole world. He doesn't take up the serpent here as the Ouroboros. It's the world serpent, the serpent that encircles the world. Or in this case, it would be the serpent that is encircling the whole sun. The devil is taking up a good chunk. So he's making you feel like, or your obsessions or, compulsions or whatever, these repressed thoughts, these things that you don't like about yourself or your life, they're making you feel like they're bigger. Excuse me, they're bigger and more in control than they are, because there is still sunlight coming through on either side. And if you were to get up and, bum rush this devil, you could knock him over and easily pass through into your sun, into your creativity, into your growth, into your abundance. So just remember that. The devil, it's blocking the middle here, but the sun is still shining through, and it's just kind of poofing himself up, right? The devil isn't as big and bad as you think it is. so whatever this energy is for you, or whoever this person is for you, that's causing you to feel these burdens and this loss, they're not as bad as they think they are. They're not as controlling as they think they are. They don't have that control over your life or over you. I pulled in affirmations of the fairy cat, and you got silence. I removed the distractions of modern life to help me listen better to my authentic self. Leaving the modern world behind and stepping into the forest feels like diving down into a cool, still pond. We don't realize how overbearing the constant noise that surrounds us is until we remove ourselves from it. While far from silent, the sounds that occur in nature are gentler and more soothing. The constant chatter and noise of modern living fragments our concentration and keeps us focused on the external instead of being mindful of our own thoughts and feelings. The devil, like I said, can be repressed things that you don't want to, things that you don't like about yourself or your life. So this could be talking about those repressed things, those feelings, those emotions that you're trying to, that you're avoiding and not dealing with, or that this person or thing is avoiding and not dealing with. We grow addicted to background noise and feel uncomfortable without the constant distraction. When we never tune out the noise, it distorts our thinking and keeps our mind in a constant state of stimulation. The result is that our ability to focus on the here and now gets diminished, and we're left with a vague sense of unease when things are quiet. This state of mind removes our appreciation for the simpler things in life and keeps us from finding a spiritual state of equilibrium. If you are in the habit of always having noise in the background, shut it off for at least a few hours a day. Exposing ourselves to silence once in a while allows our brains to focus on the task at hand. Keeping electronics off during meals, sitting down to eat in a nice quiet atmosphere helps us appreciate our food more and stimulate social interaction. If you are feeling stressed or overwhelmed, seek out quiet places. Try heading to a museum, park, or library. At work, take a moment to step outside on your break and get some needed peace and quiet. Once you begin to get comfortable with a peaceful atmosphere, you can try meditating to further quiet your mind. It is not difficult. It's easy to sit still with your eyes closed for a few moments. Make yourself as comfortable as possible, and so that you are not distracted by the position of your body. Close your mind and breathe. Try to keep your mind as empty as possible, but don't get upset by random thoughts that pop in. Simply acknowledge them and return your attention to your breath. This helps remove the chatter from within to return our minds to a calm and focused state. I hope this is helpful for you. Have a great Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.